Hello and welcome to GameGen. If you love the challenge of building, optimizing, and making tough decisions, then you're in for a treat. The next wave of management games is bringing everything from space colonies to fantasy cities, chaotic hotels, and even MMO development sims. Whether you're into deep strategy or just love watching numbers go up, there's something exciting on the horizon. So let's check out some of the most promising upcoming management games you won't want to miss. Tavern Keeper. If you've ever played Theme Hospital or 2 Point Hospital and thought, this would be even better with beer, then Tavern Keeper is exactly what you're looking for. This medieval tavern management sim puts you in charge of running a bustling fantasy-era watering hole, serving drinks, keeping customers happy, and dealing with all the chaos that comes with the job. Your tavern isn't just a place for travelers to grab a drink, it's a living, breathing business. You'll be designing your space, hiring staff, setting prices, and making sure your patrons don't drink themselves into trouble. And because this is a medieval setting, expect all sorts of quirky guests, from rowdy adventurers celebrating their latest dungeon run to mysterious travelers with secrets to share. Let's Build a Dungeon. Alright, so Let's Build a Dungeon is basically a game where you make a game, and then play that game. Yeah, it's as wild as it sounds. You're in charge of building an MMORPG from scratch, hiring devs, designing dungeons, managing players, and making sure people actually want to keep playing. But here's the catch. If your game flops and players start unsubscribing, your investors are going to be very unhappy. No pressure, right? Coming from the devs behind Let's Build a Zoo, this one is packed with the same chaotic energy and humor, and a ton of people have already wishlisted it on Steam. And while there's no release date quite yet, there is a free demo if you want to see how badly you can mess up running an MMO. Wanderstop. From the creator of the Stanley Parable comes Wanderstop, a beautiful introspective game about slowing down, letting go, and finding peace in the quiet moments. You play as a former warrior who has walked away from battle and now runs a simple tea shop, serving travelers who pass on through. It's a stark contrast to your old life, but as you brew tea and listen to your customers' stories, you'll begin to unpack your own past. The game is all about the ritual of making tea, choosing ingredients, carefully preparing each cup, and serving it with just the right touch. But beneath this calmly daily routine lies something deeper, a journey of self-reflection. As your customers share their thoughts and struggles, you'll find echoes of your own past in their words. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and want to see more like it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. Alright, back to the video. Abbey. Imagine a peaceful medieval monastery where the monks and nuns dedicate their lives to prayer, self-sufficiency, and brewing some of the best beer the world has ever tasted. Abbey is a tycoon-style management sim that lets you take charge of a monastery where the real divine work is crafting top-tier ales. Your job isn't just about brewing, though. You'll need to carefully balance work, prayer, and expansion. Recruit new monks and nuns, assign them roles, and guide them in perfecting different beer recipes. The brewing system offers plenty of depth, letting you tweak ingredients, fermentation processes, and aging techniques to craft unique flavors. You'll also need to manage trade with the outside world, dealing with merchants and nobles who may have their own demands for your monastery's prized brews. Prison Architect 2. The legendary prison management sim is back, and it's bigger, deeper, and now in full 3D. Prison Architect 2 takes everything that made the original a classic and expands on it with more detailed systems, smarter AI, and even more ways to build the ultimate correctional facility. Whether you're a ruthless warden keeping your inmates in line with strict security or a reform-focused leader trying to rehabilitate criminals, the game gives you the freedom to run your prison your way. For the first time, the entire game is fully 3D, letting you create more intricate layouts and adding a whole new level of depth to the classic formula. You'll design cell blocks, monitor inmate behavior, and manage everything from food supply chains to staff morale. Hotel Architect. Hotel Architect is your chance to build and run the hotel of your dreams. Or maybe just a wildly chaotic money-making machine. You're in charge of everything, from designing the layout and decorating rooms to hiring staff and keeping your guests happy. Or at least making sure they don't leave bad reviews. You'll start with an empty plot of land and turn it into a bustling hotel, complete with restaurants, bars, spas, and maybe even a nightclub if you're feeling fancy. But running a hotel isn't all glitz and glamour. You'll be managing staff schedules, fixing broken plumbing, and figuring out why your guests are complaining about everything. Maybe you forgot to hire enough cleaners, or maybe you skimped out on the air conditioning. Every decision matters. Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall. Being a king isn't easy, especially when winter is brutal, your kingdom is struggling, and your people expect you to fix everything. You'll hear the pleas of your desperate citizens, manage the kingdom's limited resources, and try to keep your family safe, all while facing the harsh reality that not everyone will be happy with your rule. Do you spend your dwindling supplies on feeding the starving, or do you reinforce the castle walls before invaders arrive? Can you trust the nobles who offer their help, or are they just waiting to stab you in the back? Every choice shapes the fate of your people, and sometimes there are no perfect answers, just survival. With its beautiful pixel art and emotional storytelling, Snowfall promises to be a gripping medieval drama full of tough decisions, power struggles, and just a little bit of regret. The Altars. What if your survival depended on meeting alternate versions of yourself? The Altars is a sci-fi adventure where you play as Jan, a stranded worker on a hostile planet who creates altars, clones of himself, each shaped by different life choices. These alternate versions of Jan have unique skills, personalities, and memories, and you'll need to work with or against them to escape. You can improve morale by building better living conditions, providing food, and even having deep conversations that shape how they see you and themselves. At the same time, you are racing against the clock, gathering resources, crafting upgrades, and keeping the lab moving before the sun catches up. Developed by 11-bit studios, The War of Mine and Frostpunk, this game is all about deep storytelling, tough decisions, and existential questions. Yakuza Empire. Yakuza Empire throws you into the heart of the criminal underworld, where you're not just running a gang, you are building an empire. This is a mix of strategy, management, and turn-based combat, all wrapped up in a stylish crime drama. You'll be running businesses, recruiting and training loyal gang members, and expanding your influence across the city. But power doesn't come easy. Rival gangs, the police, and even your own crew can turn against you if you're not careful. Every decision matters, whether you're negotiating deals, handling betrayals, or deciding how to deal with problems. On the battlefield, Yakuza Empire features turn-based tactical combat, where positioning, character skills, and environmental interactions can turn the tide of a fight. Blacksmith Master. Forget slaying dragons, someone's gotta make the swords. Blacksmith Master puts you in charge of a medieval forge, where you'll craft weapons, armor, and tools for knights, adventurers, and the occasional shady customer. You'll manage resources, improve your workshop, and hire skilled artisans to create legendary gear. Running a successful blacksmith shop isn't just about hammering metal. You'll have to manage resources wisely, balance customer demands, and expand your business with better equipment and skilled workers. Each order comes with its own challenges. Some customers want a sword with rare materials, while others need something cheap right now. You'll need to decide which orders to take, negotiate prices, and make sure your work lives up to its reputation. Hotel Galactic. It's a management sim with a huge dose of charm, mixing strategic planning with a heartwarming story and a whimsical art style inspired by Studio Ghibli. At its core, the game is all about creativity and customization. You're not just plopping down pre-built rooms, you are designing every part of your hotel from the ground up. Using modular buildings mechanics, you can create unique layouts, decorate with stylish furniture, and tailor the experience to match your guests', sometimes very strange, tastes. Some visitors might prefer a classic luxury suite, while others might need, a zero-gravity relaxation pod. But running a hotel isn't just about making it look pretty. You'll also have guests and staff to manage. Nordhold. Nordhold is a medieval mashup of tower defense and city building, where you manage a Nordic village and fend off waves of invaders. It's got a mix of strategy and roguelite elements, so every run feels fresh with different upgrades, heroes, and tactics to try. You'll spend part of the game building up your village, managing resources, upgrading buildings, and keeping things running smoothly. Then, when enemies attack, it's time to shift into defense mode, placing towers and using the terrain to your advantage to keep the gates from falling. There is a ton of variety here, with 8 types of towers, 20 plus buildings, and over 100 different upgrades to experiment with. You can also mix and match heroes and relics to power up your economy or defense. Tiny Bookshop. Ever dreamed of running a cozy little bookshop by the seaside? Tiny Bookshop lets you live out that dream, except your bookshop is on wheels. You'll set up your traveling bookstore in charming locations, stock your shelves with handicapped books, and get to know the locals who stop by for their next great read. It's not just about selling books though. You'll slowly uncover the stories of the people around you, from the quirky regulars to the strangers passing through town. Maybe someone's looking for the perfect gift, or maybe they just need a quiet place to escape for a while. Every customer has a story, and every book you sell might just change their life. A tiny bookshop is perfect for anyone who loves cozy games. Starminer. Running your own space mining operation, flying around in high-tech ships, cracking open asteroids for rare resources, and building a massive space empire. That's Starminer in a nutshell. You'll start small, gathering materials and upgrading your base, but before you know it, you'll have an entire fleet of mining ships and space stations under your control. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. The deeper you dig, or, well, mine, the more you attract attention, including some not-so-friendly alien forces who would love to wreck your hard-earned operation. That means you'll need to build defenses, upgrade your ships, and maybe even engage in a little space warfare. With realistic physics and detailed 3D visuals, Starminer is shaping up to be a pretty exciting ride for anyone who loves space games. Moonlighter 2: The Endless Vault. Now, let's end it with something a bit different from the other management games we've had on our list. Because Moonlighter 2: The Endless Vault isn't just about running a business, it's about risking your life for the best inventory. By day, you're a shopkeeper managing stock, upgrading your store, and making sure customers are happy. But by night, you're diving into dangerous dungeons, battling monsters, and looting treasures to sell back at your shop. This sequel is doubling down on its roguelite elements, meaning every dungeon run is unpredictable. New upgrades, different layouts, and fresh challenges that keep you on your toes. The inventory system is also getting an overhaul, making it even more strategic. And the shopkeeping mechanics have been fine-tuned to focus on perks and decorations instead of tedious price adjustments. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to leave a comment below if any of these games caught your eye, or if there are other upcoming releases you'd like to hear about. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more gaming content in the future. Thanks for watching.